Hello and welcome to episode 9 of our Timberborn Emberpelts Canyon playthrough. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. Glad to have you. Without further ado, let's get started. This is the playthrough that is going surprisingly well. Excuse me, a little bit of hiccups there. There are no immediate urgent fires that need to be put out. Um, so we're kind of free to choose a direction to go, and yeah, that's kind of exciting, but also means decisions need to be made. And one of those decisions that I have been thinking about is let's look into what it takes for the Badwater rigs. We have the okay. We have the science. We don't have anywhere near enough gears. I didn't realize we only had 20 gear storage. We have both a large gear workshop and a small gear workshop, and we don't have more than 20 gear storage. Okay, I have found an issue, ladies and gentlemen. That we're going to address right now. Doesn't need to be super close. We'll save some of that in case we expand with more power consuming buildings over there. So let's set that to gears. It also requires quite a bit of bricks, I saw. We don't have that. We do have that. Only requires 100. Metal. We need more metal storage too. We have 2.5k scrap storage, but what is essentially nothing for metal storage? That's just silly. Let's see. Could just put it here, but then that kind of blocks off this section. So maybe we do something like this. That way we can get back here. We could put like a medium warehouse there or something, or maybe another medium tank. Okay, so let's see. That should be a good spot, and then we can continue this path if we wanted. So let's work on just getting some storage, because we have industry waiting to make stuff, but we don't have the storage for it. Is part of the thing. Part of the issue currently. Nothing to do in range. Okay. Good job. Let's see if we can give you a little bit more to do. That's right. Phoenix essence can be made into water. Good water. How do we make Phoenix essence? Is that at the refinery? Nope. Sure isn't. Oh, there's its own special building, a Phoenix distillery, which requires a pepper, a biofuel, and a charcoal. Two of them. Okay. We haven't really looked at biofuel production. Is that small one? Is that a radish? I think that's a radish. Yes, it is. I mean, we don't need biofuel quite yet, but we might get into it sooner this playthrough because we can use the biofuel for liquid power plants or liquid engines, I guess is what they're probably called. Yeah, liquid fuel engine. So there we go. Radishes are probably not terrible to water, but if we're looking at water usage per fuel, canola's pretty high up there. So, well, beets are the same. Beet takes 6 days for 2, canola 10 days for 3. I'd have to like do math. Let's see. So for everyone, it takes 3 days. For everyone, a little more than, well, that's not canola. Okay. That math is easy. Beet to canola, exactly the same. So beet or canola, same efficiency in the refinery. Corn takes an additional water, but it only takes 2 for a lot more. And that probably makes sense because it takes 5 days for one of them. It looks like they tried to make them relatively equal, if not exactly equal, possibly. Interesting to note, there's a source that doesn't use water at all, just Badwater. So you could make biofuel with 2 charcoal and 20 Badwater. Get 15 fuel. It's not super efficient, but if you have a lot more Badwater available than good water, you could do that to make the biofuel. And then use that biofuel at the Phoenix Distillery, where it's in science. Use that biofuel and another charcoal and a pepper to make your Phoenix, I forget what it's called, Phoenix essence. And then use that at the Badwater rig to produce good water. So without even consuming any good water in that path, besides the amount for the trees, to irrigate the trees, to make the charcoal, you can produce good water, which is pretty cool. You're also blocking a Badwater rig that could have been. So you're losing out on potential Badwater to do that. Okay. One thing they don't have access to is just the forget what it's called, Badwater dome perhaps, that just closes off the Badwater but doesn't allow it to flow when open. Which means we don't have the option, like in this situation, early on I might put a Badwater rig and then the materialistically cheaper dome that would just shut this off so that I could get down here safer earlier. So really, to utilize this Badwater with the rig, we would either need to separate one of these from the other and then put the rig on, or put it on both of them. Okay, so that guy's done. What if we then have it go like that? Oh, that's a 3? It was just the angle I was looking at. Okay, we unlocked 2 wide bridges without technically needing them. That's okay. Where was the other one that had nothing to do in range? That was a scavenger flag. That is actually done. Awesome. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Get rid of these stairs. And the platform. Okay, we can actually get rid of both stairs. Sweet. Let's empty that scrap. Okay. Gears are going up pretty quick. We could probably get that discharge going here before too long, actually. Because we have had issues running out of Badwater. So I do kind of want that Badwater rig up and running so that we can extract Badwater anytime we want without issue. The other option would be the Badwater discharge. I don't think I'm going to be using water like a power tower this playthrough. I want to fully embrace the Emberpelts fire good, burn everything power generation method. So there's not really much of a point to have Badwater flow at that point, and I think the Badwater rig would be more efficient. What's nice about the Badwater rigs for Badwater collection is the rate of collection does not depend on the CMS, the output of the source. So these are only a strength of CMS 1. So even if we let it flow, it wouldn't produce that much Badwater, comparatively. Whereas a Badwater rig on each of these could produce a lot more Badwater with the staff than, did I not mark all of these? No, it's just out of range. Okay. By staffing it, you could produce a lot more Badwater than just it flowing. Just collecting some trees while we're building up a little resources. I think I am going to go ahead and start building at least one of these, if not both of them. Because, I mean, I guess it kind of made all these contamination barriers pointless. I very well might just put like a two-way station over here, delete all of these, and then like a path so that they can collect the resources. That might happen. So, if I build stuff right on this or this, they should be able to reach both of them. By stuff, I did mean overhang scaffolding. Let's see if we delete that and put a stair there. Sorry, don't know why I paused it. Then they should be able to reach all of that. Let's go ahead and unlock that Badwater rig. I'm gonna have this one face that way, this one face that way. Let's just start by focusing on building one. It's gonna take quite a bit. And each extract basically takes 8 Badwater, I do believe. If we look at our centrifuge, yes. No, 2 Badwater. So these 2 extracts are costing 8, but you get 20. So a little tiny bit of logs and some processing, and then you can get a lot more Badwater. And it's faster if you use that forced extraction. All right, I think you're officially done, bud. Get rid of some of this junk. Okay. Food's looking just fine, especially with our juices. Water's looking fine. We don't have any of our pumps going right now. That's kind of crazy, actually. Let's have at least one of them going. We just finished. Okay, we have these pumps going. Okay. We did have pumps going. That makes a lot more sense now. But yeah, we're really using up a lot less just general water because of the fact that juices do hydration. And the only juice that uses water is the corn juice. To speed up this, there are 4 things it needs. Largely gears. Gears are a big thing for this. Let's see. What was it? Gears, metal blocks, and bricks. Are bricks in? They are in the warehouse. Okay. Bricks obtain. Gears obtain. And the rest are piles. So it's metal blocks and planks. Yep. Planks obtain. Metal blocks obtain. Let's set those on higher priority so our haulers help move the materials over there. After it's built, of course. think we could use more labor, so I'm going to expand. We have only 4 kits, so I'm going to expand this, and we have a shrub and a roof. So we know to replace that. Why not another triple lodge? And replace the roof and shrub. Let's also put that at a higher priority than the Badwater rig, just so we get that more labor going as we're trying to get this done. Okay. Is this empty? It is. We can delete that. And as a matter of fact, after they collect that rubble, we can delete all of those roads to make the processing a little easier. And we can set this to supply, as well as these other ones here that are close by. The produced products near the industrial center should be supply, but things like logs that we're using at the industrial center should be set to obtain. And when it's kind of both, except should be fine, like it's near where it's collecting and being used. All right, did we get these storages built? We did, and we got them pretty full. How are we doing on planks? We're doing fine on planks. We're just waiting for haulers to move them. Okay, you know what? And they're building over here. Let's put I'm gonna say something for them to drink over here. I'm trying to decide if it should just be water or a juice. If they're just thirsty, do they go for water or do they go for a juice? Well, let's look at that beaver that I saw that was thirsty. Where did he go? There. Okay, they're thirsty, dehydrated. Where are their juice needs? Right here. So they're actually fine on all their juices, so they might. I'm gonna observe him and see what he does if he goes for water. He went for corn juice. Don't know why he chose corn juice, actually. Maybe it was the lowest of the juices. Yeah, I'm not sure. That was indeed his decision. So let's put a juice station over here, just one little one, so the workers don't have to go as far if they're thirsty. And which juice should we do? Maybe we have lots of apples. Let's go ahead and do apple juice. Obtain high priority. Maybe one type of food. I don't know which food. Let's do. Yeah, we're full on grilled corn. Let's see grilled corn. All right, so that should speed that up. These don't need to be prioritized, actually. But it would be nice, since the gears are going to be taking a lot here, let's actually prioritize the gears here. Yes, we're using quite a bit of gears, and that's actually all that's being consumed there now. It says it does require so many gears. Perhaps a larger storage for gears would have been wise, but maybe just even a second one, because we are going to build this other one as a discharge as well, eventually, if not right now. So let's have a second warehouse for gears so that we have a little bit more over here already. Population's going up. Just waiting for some kits to grow up. Juice is looking fantastic. No issues there. So we got this scrap. That's a big scrap. Is there? Oh, there's huge scrap over here. So we're nowhere near worried about scrap at the moment. Flooded and no road. That one's done. Excellent. Let's make the other one too. We won't have both of them occupied, but that way I kind of want this Badwater to stop flowing. Yeah. So we're going to be waiting on gear production here for a bit. But we do make one gear every 2 gears every 3 hours. Okay, that's actually not as fast as I thought. That's only, this is twice as fast. Okay, the same resources. Well, I mean, they just use them up twice as fast. Okay, so this actually isn't all that much better than just 2 of these. Actually, what is the benefit? Is it power? Is it just to make it look nice and neat? It's power. It uses only 1.5 as much power to make twice as many gears, but the materials and the speed is the same. So the benefit is less power usage. Let it build it. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And it's unconnected. Also makes sense. Just for this little bottleneck we got going on right now, let's go ahead and make another gear workshop. I like that we're building up explosives. How are tomatoes looking now? Tomatoes are looking a lot better. Every food is going up, actually. Well, corn's going down, it looks like, maybe a little. Raw corn, at least. We don't have all that many beets either. Since we do have some extra growing area here. No, never mind. I was thinking about making that. It might be a good idea to make that into wheat to start storing up some of that. And wheat does take 10 full days to grow. Yeah, we're just out of gears. That's what's slowing us down on that the most by far. Double check. We have all of these oaks marked for cutting that are supposed to be. It looks like it. Okay. Yeah, I guess let's Oh, there was a drought. Why is that Badwater still hanging out here? Just not falling off the map very fast at all. Which is fine, I guess. just, there's not enough bad water there to spread out. It's another mine there. Okay. We have a lot of potential resources to work with here. We could really make a big colony with the space and the resources we have available. One limiting factor might have been the amount of good water of 4 CMS flow. But we have ways to make, as Ember Pelts, bad water into good water. And we have, what is it, at least 2, 3. Let's scroll down here. We have 4 bad water sources. And the ability to make bad water into good water. And we don't use as much good water. We can make this into an absolutely massive colony if we so desired. All right. So we're just going to wait on those. Let's work on expanding our population a little bit more, because we are short workers, and I would like to maybe get a few more builders and haulers going, at least. So I'm going to build yet another one of these. Housing. Triple lodge. Well-being. No, decoration. There we go. And set that at a high priority as well. So some of those kits start, so we get the kits so they can start growing up. We're not really in the need of a mine yet. It is nice to have one built before we need it, and we know one's going here. So I'm going to go ahead and place that, but I am going to place it on low priority. You know, even very low priority. Just in case I put something else on low priority. This is an extremely low priority right now. But if we have nothing else going on, might as well. Let's see. Yeah, let's just ignore that. Well, not ignore, but not focus on that for the moment. Because reasons. Because there's other things we could be doing. Let's see, does that reach? Not quite. Right there it would. Oh. Any of these that would reach nicely? Not really. I guess we'll switch over to the overhangs. I just want to collect those logs. How many does an overhang? That's a lot of logs for an overhang. Never mind. That won't be efficient for sure. We'll just let that be. Delete some of these stairs and stuff. I see a little bit of irrigated land over here. We can put out another tomato there. Just the tiniest hint of green I see. Okay. Did say we would make this into some wheat. Okay. So if we make just a small tubeway bridge here. I'm trying to delete all of this junk here, basically. You know, that's actually a terrible spot for that. Let's not do that. And pretend that we didn't. No, I don't want to delete that tube boy. I want to delete the ugly platform that's on top of it. Did stuff get messed up? The platform is no different from the tubeway. They are one. Okay. So be it, I guess. All right, let's do what I was initially going to. Then we can do a nice long two-way bridge. A platform. And another two-way bridge. We can demolish a bunch of that. It would appear to be 3 high. Yes, 3 high. Something like that. Being closer on that. Okay. I do think we do what I said and put a two-way station over here. What if we just do a two-way bridge strictly? Okay, that does work. So that's how we're gonna do that. Delete that. Then we can collect all of this rubble, especially the rubble from these contamination barriers. And also there's a few trees over here. So we can take care of many issues at once. There's actually going to be more trees if we go like that. There you go. That is getting really close to being done. Glad to see it. They've done more of this than I expected. Which is fine, of course. I don't need 2 beavers in the dirt excavator at this exact moment. I am amazed that we are full on log storage. Do we have storage down here for logs? We have a little. Okay, these all use charcoal, that's why. That one uses logs. It wouldn't be bad to have another storage for logs over here. I mean, that's a bit excessive, but I just want more log storage in general. Because we have trees that aren't being chopped. All right. So now we're getting to build that. And our Badwater tanks are, or our Badwater little deep well here is done. Are you thirsty? Drink the apple juice, you fool. All right, so that's one downside of all these juices. It's not as easy to get them something to rehydrate because they might be slightly lower on a different juice and they'll go for that one first, it seems. And they might go across the map in order to get it. And it doesn't seem like they'll go for water unless they have to, if there's juice available. That's what it seems like. Oh, this is really close to being done. It's going to be exciting. Just 3 more gears. I think they're coming. Just 1 more. And then the actual construction. We got it. Delete that. Delete that. Yeah. Delete that. Okay, that seems higher. No, I'm just crazy. It seemed like that stair was higher than that terrain block a little bit. I think it's just the railings on the stair that make it look that way. Okay, so just like that, and we're going to want probably a medium tank for extract, a medium tank for Badwater, Badwater supply, extract, obtain. And we can have this one paused. Yeah, that should work out well. Okay, so I started to build that too, but I decided not to. Looks like. Oh well. All right, we have plenty. Okay, we have beavers that don't have jobs. So, I think another builder is in order. You can set that on high priority, just so we get that going. Water stores, we're doing just fine. Okay. This ready to blow up? Oh, they can't reach those two? Okay. Whatever. Let's blow this up. Nice. Nice. I approve. Let's go ahead and delete the two-way bridge here. And the platform. So let them collect those materials first. Put down some wheat. Is there a reason we haven't collected all of those? No, just being slow. Okay. Wow, okay, more of our kits are growing up. Let's get a... Yeah, I want this to mirror each other a little bit better, so let's do it like... No, we don't need that one. Gosh, that shouldn't be that hard. But yeah, another builder's hut. And just to get more builders, let's set all of that at higher priority. Okay. Oh. We need another stairs here. I can tell somebody was probably screaming at their monitor right then. Set that at the highest of priorities. There we go. Now, do we need 5 working in here? No. Not with our current Badwater needs. I don't think. Especially if we turn this to forced Badwater extraction, which after we get the extract medium tank going here and it filled up, we're probably gonna do. Let's see. that produces one extract every 0.75 hours, and this will use 2 in that amount of time. So we're going to need at least one more centrifuge, and that'll just keep up with our extract demand of one of those. Well, let's go ahead. I believe hauling posts, yep, they can transfer power. So let's build that. And probably 2 more centrifuges, if I'm being honest. That way we have enough extract production to turn one of these on forced extraction of Badwater and still be producing some other extract for other uses. So that should just produce all. Okay, I guess that is the usage of these extract when this is completely full, which we probably won't have. All right, so I think probably like 4 working in the Badwater rig will be good enough. That is going to cause quite a bit of injuries. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Nothing to do in range. Okay, well, let's work on finding some more things for these beavers to do that would be in range. Got a little bit of the hiccups again. They won't be able to reach hardly anything up there anyway, so we'll get rid of him and just do a new one. So maybe like that. Let's mark these for cutting. Okay, then we'll put another one up here. I paused it again. Sorry about that. Okay. Only 4 unemployed beavers. Not too bad. 6 injured, though. Or we had 4 vacancies. Sorry, not unemployed beavers. Well, let's finish tidying this up, too. So that, I bet we can get a lot here, too. Okay. And even if this doesn't eat up all of our extract and we don't need the 3, we can always just pause one of the centrifuges. That's not a big deal at all. We do have that wheat that's gonna start coming in before too long. So let's go ahead and get some grist mills up and running. Where do we want to put those? They do need power. We've cleared out a little bit of space here. I bet we could. Yeah, we definitely could. Something like that. Put the grist mills here. Looks like we need to delete one more. There we go. Set those on high priority to reconnect the power. One of them at wheat flour, one of them at cornmeal. Oh, don't need a large warehouse for this. I think I'm going to make a path up as well and make a double layer here. Let's see. So switch back to the warehouses. Perfect. Okay, so we can have this bottom one be wheat set to obtain. The top one be wheat flour set to supply. this bottom one be corn obtained? Cornmeal supply. And this one's the cornmeal? Yep, okay. That'll do just fine. So we'll get some cornmeal and wheat flour coming in here shortly. But you know what? They can, now that Badwater's not flowing here, we don't need these contamination barriers. Probably can't reach some of this rubble. Yep. Okay, so let's just make a path over here. Now I bet they should be able to reach all of that. Because a lot of it they can just reach from the tubeways. That's a decent chunk of area to be exploded there. Do a little more wheat. And I think more corn, because that cornmeal, so many things use corn. Now we have another thing, cornmeal. Really, they can't just reach it from over here? Okay. I kind of want all of that just gone, so let's do that. That's going to be too far. One more over. There, and then that. We will have to... I think we're not playing with ladders, so something like that will connect it. We can just use stairs there. Like that. And then we could put... should be able to place the dynamite on all of this, or at least a lot of it. It should be just fine. Looking at this, this is actually wider than we need it. So yeah, we can do that and get some more space that way. Okay, excellent. Let's try that, see how it goes. They haven't picked up this scrap yet, but that's okay. No rush there. We have wheat flour coming in. We have cornmeal coming in. Let's see. Can we get like... Okay, baked beets requires maple syrup. As does cornbread. Okay, so we won't really need the cornmeal for a while yet. Apple pies just requires wheat flour, though, and apples. So let's turn that one on. And let's make a little bit of storage down here. What do we got here? Charcoal and stuffed peppers, okay. Bell peppers, okay. You know what? Probably don't. We can still make this one just apples, I think. Obtain, and then we can probably do smaller ones for the actual produced stuff. Like, okay, well, we're gonna need like, you know what? No, I do want a bigger one for wheat flour down here. Changed my mind. Wheat flour obtained. Nope. Maybe right here can be the apple pies. Nothing to do in range. You did chop a lot of that. There is still more to be done, though. There's a lot of Just wild trees yet to be cut down. To reach a lot of that, we're going to need yet another lumberjack flag. So we can actually do something like... I want to get that last. Okay, so it needs to be down this way. Right there. Okay. Sometimes I think I accidentally paused it when it's actually just nighttime. You did a lot of injuries. That's probably from this Badwater rig. That is a decently high injury machine. Okay, that one's paused. Gotcha. Let's go ahead and work on expanding our population some more. We don't. The bad part about getting this Badwater rig before we have bots is that it's too far. I thought, oh, this still needs to be built. Okay. Why is that too far? I forgot a stairs over here. We don't have bots. Bots can't get injured, so that streamlines everything else. We don't have bots, so we might want to consider getting bots a little. Usually I wait kind of almost too long to get bots until we have a really neat organized industrial sector. I'm gonna try to get them a little bit earlier this time, so we might consider that soon. Yeah, maybe a little bit more of this wheat, perhaps. Corn is going down as we're making the cornmeal, of course. Okay, not all of that can reach, so some of this isn't actually going to help. But all of that can. Okay. That'll do. You know, our reservoir is actually draining some. Let's go ahead and at least lay down some of the levees for the next layer. We don't need that one to be a levee, though. 23 vacancies. 12 injuries. It's the mine. The mine finished. I don't actually need that running right now, so we're going to pause it. So that's putting 10 back into our workforce, and then we just got to wait for these injuries to resolve themselves. We don't have quite enough medical beds. But we also weren't planning on having all of that, all those workers in such a high injury place like the mine at this point. I just wanted it built to make sure we had the materials for it and we didn't get into we didn't bottleneck ourselves. Although we have all of this scrap too. So we had a while until that became an issue. Let's keep making the layers on here. We're going to leave these two so that if this isn't done by the time the reservoir fills back up, we will have the water will drain right there still. Let's get rid of the path that's here. And this road. So that we can put new levees like that. And a new stair right there. Now they're actually going to finish that very quickly. We still got 4 days left of this drought. I think we can actually go ahead and also put these dam pieces down.
Oh, layer of levees first, and then a layer of dams. We have 16 injured beavers at the moment. Wowza. That is a lot of beavers with ouchies. You know what? We're doing really good on planks. Let's just shut down one of the lumber mills for now, maybe. I mean, that's not the only injury machine going on here. Probably the smelter, too. Do we have a small smelter at all? I don't think so. Nope. We do have a large smelter, though. What if we lower that to just one at the moment? Possibly can pause one of the explosive factories. That's also a pretty high injury place. I don't know the injury chance on the centrifuge. I don't know if it's high or medium or low. I think there's some chance. What? Why are we stranded? Oh no. I'll let you out that way. Oh no, you're still stranded. Be free. All right. There we go. No stranded beavers over there, so we're good. Yeah, that got done very quickly. Actually, I'm really happy with that. Before building bots, I think I want to kind of get the start of a vertical tree farm going, perhaps. And I'm kind of thinking over here we can build a vertical tree farm somewhere along those lines. To that end, let's start getting our two boys over there. Should have went on that side. Oh well. Let's put that small tube way. We haven't even unlocked normal tube ways. Let's just go ahead and unlock them. Although, unless we need a lot of tubes connected to them, there's no benefit over these small ones. Okay, so let's put that there. Then wherever that exit is, right there, and we can put some more lumberjacks. Or at least one lumberjack, I guess. Chop down some of these trees that are up here. Probably build them a path to get up there too. Pretty easy. Easily. That would be better English. They'll be able to reach some of that, I guess. Okay, injuries are starting to go away. We had enough medical beds, and now we took beavers out of the mine. They were only in there briefly, but it did cause a little bit of havoc. I do think I'm going to increase my population a little bit more. And just because this is getting pretty high and this isn't, obviously, because we haven't expanded it, I am going to make this side a little higher. These houses a little higher. And by a little, I mean excessively high scaffolding to make it done. Can't even tell where the entrance is on that thing. Not that it matters, actually, with these so much. Decoration, there was a lantern right there. Nothing to do in range. You are actually done. Good job. You are actually not done. Okay, we did mark all of those. Sweet. So this guy will be busy for a little bit yet. Nine empty spots, and they're probably in, yeah, they're in hauling posts. Pause one of the builder huts and try to use that labor to get a few more haulers. Are apple pies coming in yet? Or are we just eating them all right away? Low on wheat flour. Low on wheat to make wheat flour. Okay, so we definitely need more wheat. Whoa. Some of this isn't irrigated anymore. How did that happen? Oh, it's because we expanded this. Well, that's not cool. Try to get more growing area, and it looks like it actually hurt us. Probably because this is one wide here. Let's fix that with a, so that it's at least a 3x3 here. How close is this to being done? Not that close, still 5 days. Let's just delete that. Okay, I think this will expand our growing area again after we blow that up. Because we did lower our channel to only a 2x2 channel. So that, we had the flow to do that, but that does limit how far it irrigates, and we are still using it for irrigation. So that wasn't the best idea. And by that, I do mean it was a terrible idea. Just a pretty easy thing to overlook, I think. I didn't think it'd have that dramatic of an effect on our irrigation range, but it did. One, it moved the edge of the water further away. Two, how far it irrigates does depend how many other water tiles are nearby it. So that should re-irrigate some of that. Yep. So that helped. I think this will help more yet. Okay, I'm kind of surprised that these ones still aren't irrigated. So be it, though. Perhaps if we got rid of one more of these, or even two, to get over there, we can get some of that irrigated. Something like that. I would like it if this one focused on wheat. We were short on wheat. Okay, still working on the scaffolding and then that. We have a forester here that's paused. We were using it to build apple trees. I don't know if we're going to build any more apple trees here. You know what? These spots right here would look good as apple trees. So I'm just going to mark this corn, clear it for planting. And once that gets harvested, we'll plant more apple trees there. And then we'll kind of call that area more or less good. We really should blow up some of this area and tidy that up some. So if we do something like this, can that reach? No. Now? No. Now? After they build that, I think so. That should be diagonal. But the plan I was going to use that for is just then some of these, which will help us dynamite all of this area. You know, instead of that, let's build a little teeny tiny bridge there. So that should also let us reach that spot, and it'll also let us connect to that overhang. And then with that, we can put down dynamite. So this is the highest level, so we'll have that be triple. The level below it be a double. The level below that be a single. Okay. Reservoir filled up completely again. Excellent. You know, beets look like they're struggling a little bit. We might need to plant a few more of those. Let's see if blowing this up helps at all with reaching that. It took away irrigation? Well, that's just silly. Right, because it's not 3. Let's just... This whole expanding this area backfired. Did not work well. We'll just get rid of it. I don't think we're going to be able to save you either. Huh. Nothing to do in range. We did good. We did good. Okay. Did we get this? We did. And that one's done. That one's busy. We put it, say there, I'll be able to get all of those trees. All right. We are expanding our population fairly rapidly. We do want to keep an eye on our food production and water production. Our usage actually would probably be more accurate. We just want to make sure we don't run out of food as we're expanding our population. Again, nothing to do in range. Oh, there wasn't much for you to do in range to start with. Oh, you just can't quite reach that. Man, I don't even know how to get to that one very easily. Actually, I do. It's just not worth it, technically. By technically, I mean at all. Oh well, it's worth it to get it off the map. Is that one not marked for cutting? No, it is. This just isn't done. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. So it's been doing better harvesting the wheat. We're out of wheat again. We're stuck on wheat flour. What if I blow this up? Does that finally re-expand some of that growing area? Yes. Okay. We haven't had to turn these pumps on forever. Let's just get rid of them. I don't think there's a point. It's a little worried about corn, but it's not going down all that fast at all. So let's just keep going with a little more wheat. These are just full of food. We're not using our canola fast enough. Okay, this video is actually getting pretty long. Oh gosh, those two boys look so gross. Yuck. Let's clean that up. It'll be a process. I think I'm gonna put a maple tree farm over here. Before I forget, that's gonna be the last thing I'm gonna do in this video. That's not where that was supposed to go. So for that, we need a forester and a tapper shack. Then we need to go say, well, we honestly really should have a tank as well for the syrup. And then we should plant maples. Don't know how many we're going to need. But I figure it's better to have too many maples than not enough maples. I'm just going to fill this whole area with maples. That one was one too high. Okay. We'll see if any of that had even just a hint of green there. And make sure none of this is marked for cutting. It currently was. That's a good thing I checked. Okay. Nothing to do. Nothing to do. Pick that up and then I can demolish that. Badwater supply, doing great. Planks are going down. We did turn off one of these lumber mills. Let's turn that back on, shall we? Explosives, I think that's fine to be shut off for now. We are getting some consistent apple pies now. And that's another +2 bonus, I do believe. Get that forester going again. Make sure those aren't marked for cutting. There's no reason any of this should be marked for cutting. Because there wasn't much reason for it not to be either. I keep finding little projects and I was going to end the episode. That must be my ADHD showing through. No, we don't want that singles. Because there's actually 2 layers there. Then we can go down to this layer. Okay, So I got that planned out. So that's a good place to end the episode. We got our Badwater rigs up and running. We expanded food production. We got bakeries going. We got a lot of the random trees on the map harvested. We kind of picked a spot that we're going to put a vertical tree farm eventually. We expanded our population. In fact, we have unemployed beavers. That will be a problem for next episode. And what else did we really accomplish? I felt like there was something else I was going to mention. Oh, we got a maple tree farm planted. They'll take a while to actually produce the maple syrup, but we will be wanting that maple syrup for the rest of our food items. That's pretty much the last thing we need for our food. It's maple syrup. So we have that coming in soon. After we plant all of this, we won't need this forester anymore. Oh, we also increased our dam, our reservoir one level. But yeah, I think we got a lot accomplished today. Again, no major fires. The closest we had is when this mine turned on and our injuries racked up. That could have been bad if we didn't catch that quickly. It's easy enough to turn that builder's hut back on and put more haulers here. All right, so I guess the unemployed beavers was not a problem for next episode because it was easily solved. If you guys watched this whole video with me, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm still a new and trying to grow content creator, and I thank you guys so much for supporting me. Leave a like, subscribe if you haven't, and leave a comment. I love hearing from you guys. If this episode made you scream at your monitor in frustration because I was forgetting to do something obvious, let me know what you screamed. And I will see you guys next time.